Welcome in here on NashvillePredators.com. Tom Callahan with General Manager David Poile. And David, I imagine relief, excitement, all kinds of emotions for you right now. Congratulations on getting the Shea Weber deal done and finished and at hand. So talk to us a little bit, if you will, about the process and what you had to go through.
Well, a very exciting time for the Predators for sure. Excitement to have your best player wrapped up for a lifetime. I mean, he just got engaged and he's going to get married, and hopefully that'll be for a lifetime for him. And we just signed him for 14 years, and that's pretty well a lifetime and a career for a hockey player. So it's a marriage, and it was a really interesting process. I've been through a few of these, but this one involved everyone in the organization, and I think because of that, I think it's very meaningful to everyone in the organization. It wasn't just a hockey decision. I mean, we involved the business side and the ownership, and collectively we went over all of the reasons why we should do it, or if there was any reasons why we shouldn't do it. And I think we all came together with the same answer, obviously, and that was yes. And because we involved everybody in the organization, I think, as they say, we're in this together, and it made the most sense. And I think everybody feels that they're part of it. And going forward, we're all part of this team that we're going to take to the Stanley Cup in the near future.
Well, you talked about making Shea Weber the #1 priority, and indeed, involving this many people, it absolutely was.
Well, whenever you're going to have a top team, you've got to surround yourself with some quality players, and Shea is at the top of the curve, if you will. I mean, to me, he's second in the Norris Trophy for the best defenseman in the league 2 years in a row. Obviously, a little prejudice. We probably thought he should have won the last 2 years, but again, every great team that's ever been competitive for a lot of years or won Stanley Cups has always had a great defenseman, and Shea's there. And you pair that with Pekka Rinne in net, that's having, in our minds, again, one of the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League. I mean, you got a chance every night, you got a chance every year to compete. And I think what was not working for us was the fact that Shea was on a 1-year contract, and I think that put some doubts in a lot of people's minds, whether it be our own players, our fans, or even our ownership, if you will. And I think, and now that we have this commitment, I think we can move on together. And I think Shea will probably be our best recruiting tool in terms of getting other players to come here at the appropriate time.
Well, you just mentioned Rinne and Weber, two fantastic building blocks, but then Colin Wilson and this week Sergei Kostitsyn. What are the next steps for the franchise as far as the rest of the summer?
Well, I think we're on the road to being a competitive team for a lot of years. Somebody said that we were in a rebuilding mode, and I didn't get that at all, because I really thought we did that a year ago when we made some hard decisions on some of our older players, and we brought in a lot of our younger players, like last year, and Ellis and Yossi on defense, Spalling for a second year, Wilson for a second year, Craig Smith for his first year, Gabriel Bork for his first year. I mean, virtually everybody on our hockey team has a real upside, if you will. I mean, I don't think there's hardly anybody that you could say has had their career year or won't have a better year than they've had to this point. Plus, we've surrounded our team with some the crafty veterans, if you will, and Hal Gill, who I think is going to be unbelievable again next year at a full-time basis with our younger players like Ellis or Yossi, and having Paul Gostad for a full year. I mean, Gostad's going to be a very valuable player, as the coaches would say. He fixes everything. I mean, he's in there in all the key situations for the key face-off, whether it be offensively or defensively. Brings a physical presence, and both Hal and Paul Gostad are outstanding leaders, as is Chris Mason, who's now going to be with Pekka Rinne and net. We've had Chris here before, and there's no finer person. He's all about winning, and I think, again, all these things lead us in the right direction.
And David, as we just mentioned, all these moves would not have been possible without the tremendous support you've had from your ownership group.
The owners have been fabulous. Every time there's been a tough decision to make, they've always made the right decision. They're making all of the decisions that are helping this franchise be successful on and off the ice. We've seen this in the last couple of years in terms of the business side, how the crowds have grown to sellouts virtually every game, to allowing me on the hockey upside to add the players at the correct time of year. This year at the trading deadline, we did more than any other team, and now this decision to sign Shea Weber for 14 years. I mean, their commitment is right there. So I mean, this franchise is tracking as well as any franchise in the National Hockey League, and that's because of our ownership.
That's great news for our fans and great news for you. Congratulations on bringing this all together, David.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, that's David Poile, our general manager here on NashvillePredators.com.